I feel like making a vlog about something that's fairly personal and maybe even slightly taboo. This is a serious video. Well, as serious as you want to call it. No jokes, I mean, no cringe. Although it will sound cringy to a lot of people, and that's absolutely fine. I just feel like making this vlog so I can, in case my memory fades of it or changes. It really hasn't over these 10 years. I can't remember what I did last week, but this thing that happened to me in 2016 is as clear as when it happened. And I'll never forget the feeling that it gave me when it happened to me. And I think one of the main reasons I'm pushed to make this vlog is because I've been having a lot of reels and videos popping up on when I'm doom scrolling or whatever, that are in the realm of astral projection and out-of-body experiences and NDEs, near-death experiences, and sleep paralysis and lucid dreaming and drugs and, stuff like that. These visions induced by drugs. I do not do drugs. And I've never done a magic mushroom or acid in my entire life. I did salvia years and years ago, but didn't have any awakening or feelings like I did 10 years ago when I had this experience at a dentist's office. And I feel stupid making this vlog because, people will roll their eyes, and that's absolutely fine. And I don't want it to, I'm not going to act it up. I don't want it to sound grand and like, ooh, he's just a storyteller. He's trying to get clicks. No, it's just something that happened to me that I put a lot on the internet, and I put a lot of cringe and just entertaining content. At least I hope it's entertaining to people. But for whatever reason, I'm just going to put this one out there and see what happens. This is before I was married, about a year before I was married, and I was trying to have this grand awakening. I remember I told myself, when I turn 30, everything's going to make sense. My life is just I'm going to know exactly where I need to be in this world, and everything's going to click. It didn't. You're never ready. You're never ready to have kids. You're never truly ready to get married. I don't care what anybody says. But thinking back on it, something did happen to me when I was 30, about when I turned 30, right around there. And it was really just kind of, the best thing I could call it is an out-of-body experience. Everybody has little weird experiences. Some people have ghost stories. Some people have psychic stories. Some people have this happen to me. Some people have Matrix stories. I woke up from the Matrix and you wouldn't believe it. And I left my body behind and I was connected by a tether and I went to the light. And, there's all kinds of different stories out there. But mine was a very simple out-of-body experience because I knew I was awake, but I was definitely not in that dentist chair. I was having a tooth pulled, and I got the laughing gas, which is, I guess, a hallucinogenic or whatever that can do things to people. But whatever happened, it's so hard to describe what happened to me because I don't know where I was, and I remember the feeling of, oh my gosh, I'm falling asleep and I'm not supposed to fall asleep because my mouth is open and they're talking to me. Does it hurt? Does it hurt? No, it doesn't hurt. You can keep going. And I still feel the thudding of trying to take this tooth out that was dead. Bang, very rhythmic, like banging, trying to get this. I remember the dentist sort of saying something about how hard it was to get it out. So there was this rhythmic, pounding in my soul is what it felt like to me. And I remember just sort of leaving the chair, and I didn't fly through the ceiling. I didn't go into the sky. I didn't go into the heavens. I just was somewhere else for a bit, completely lucid. I would call it lucid dreaming. It's the only time I could really talk and feel awake and be somewhere else and be aware that I'm somewhere interesting. Not just like a dream when you wake up, you go, oh my God, it was all a dream. I was aware that I was somewhere else, and it was very vivid and real. So I can't explain where I was. I can explain the feeling of being enlightened. I knew that I was in a place I was supposed to be. It was so warm and full of just the right vibes. Like I've never done drugs or, had those feelings of just like complete body euphoria. But that's sort of the best I can explain it. This natural high that I can't quite pinpoint. But I was in this place, and there were a couple people there with me, and I feel like I could only see them sitting from the waist down, almost like they were huge. So weird. I'm hoping somebody responds to this and like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I had a similar experience, and this is what it means. But probably means something different to every person. But anyway, I'm in this place. I don't remember colors or whatever. I just remember it was well lit. There wasn't a lot in there. The best I could describe it is like ancient Roman, almost like you walk into this huge building with massive marble pillars, and then there's this, I don't know. I'm in this place, and there's two big, it's going to sound so stupid saying this, but there's these two beings. Said, oh, he's on an acid trip. These two beings just sitting there, and I could see them like from, I don't remember what their heads look like. I feel like I could see them like waist or torso down or something. And they were like, I remember hearing them say, he's finally here. It took him long enough to get here. These things said, he's finally here, and they sort of had a laugh at my expense. Like, he's here. Wow, it took him long enough. It's really cool that he's here. And I have goosebumps recounting this. And I also remember they knew that the feeling wouldn't last, like I wasn't supposed to be there. So they were surprised. They were like, wow, he's finally here. It took him long enough to get here, but he's not going to stay here. It was so weird. During this time of being here and me feeling great that I've, sort of talking to these things, these people, and sort of having a laugh. Yeah, I guess it's really nice to know you. It's really nice to finally see you guys. I knew that, and this is where it sort of feels disjointed. I also had a revelation that I would need to marry my wife, who I'm married to, and we were going to have kids, and we were going to make it. I was going to have a great life. So do it. Go get married. Go do it. And that was, I think, as close to an awakening of, okay, you'll know when you turn 30 that that's what you need to do, that's what your future is. But I didn't realize it at the time. At the time, I was just like, I just had a trip on laughing gas, which I definitely did. But I had a connection. I had something that seemed to make a lot of sense to me at the time, and I was in this room, this big, vast, expansive room, and they said, wow, he's finally here. And then I realized that I was not going to be there much longer. It was like I could tell. I don't know if it was actual talking or telepathy, but I could tell that they knew I was going to go back. It's so dumb, guys. I'm sorry. Go back to my body. I was going to leave their realm, if you will. And I can't believe I'm even contemplating posting this, but I did. It was almost like a countdown. It was like, well, he's going to disappear and he won't really remember us. He won't really remember this, and he's going to want to get back to this feeling, but he's not going to, at least not for a long time. And so while, yeah, he's finally here, fantastic, he made it, but now he's got to go, there was like this countdown, right? It's like I knew what the lady in the dentist chair working on my tooth was going to say before she said it. And I knew she was going to do like a 3, 2, 1 countdown. And I wasn't sure why she was doing it, but I knew she was going to do it. And she did some kind of countdown, and I was like trying to wake up, I'm just like sort of like, I wanted to act like I was never even asleep, because I wasn't supposed to be asleep. I was supposed to be lucid for this, just, a local numbing, and they're supposed to take my tooth out. It wasn't supposed to be they didn't give me sleeping, whatever you call that stuff, to actually go out. But it was like, I knew I had to say something. I think maybe she was going to ask me if I could feel that, or if I was doing okay. And I could hear her asking me. She asked me a couple times, but there was a countdown in my head, or from her, or from somebody. I don't know where it came from, but it was like, 3, 2, 1. And I knew once the countdown was done, I was going to be able to come back in and say, yeah, I'm fine, I'm good to go. And sure enough, it was like I could feel she was still working on the tooth, and it was just like 3, okay, all right, I'm coming back, and I'm back, and I answered, I was like, yeah, I'm fine. I was just like, I feel like I just had this weird experience. It was odd. Anyway, yeah, I'm okay, keep going. And I was instantly, like, I felt kind of sad. Yeah, I felt kind of sad to be back, so to speak. And I was done. I came out of the surgery, and I remember going to the restroom, and I was just like, I walked into the stall or whatever, and it was just like, sat there going, shut my eyes, and it was like, I could sort of get back to that feeling that I had when I shut my eyes there, and sort of told myself, how am I going to remember this experience? How am I going to remember the feeling? It's going to, and the feeling, it faded over a period of 2 months. Like, I could think about it deeply, almost like meditate on it in a way, and get back into that nice warm blanket of everything is going to be okay feeling that I had when I was on this trip. No drugs in my system, obviously. Just like I could just think about it, and there's that warm fuzzy blanket again. Everything's going to be okay. I'm going to have a great life. But that faded. Like, I can't really get back to that anymore. I can't really get that everything's going to be a-okay feeling like I had. But, I remember I sent a message to my then girlfriend, who was going to be my wife. I didn't use that trip as a proposal mechanism. I talked to some ghosts. They said I should marry you. Yeah. They said we're going to be fine. Will you marry me? No, it didn't happen like that. But I did tell her that, I had a crazy trip at the dentist's office and everything's going to be fine. And I told my soon-to-be wife that, and I told a good buddy of mine that as well. I sent him an email that I've really tried to find and dig up. I thought I saved it, but I couldn't find it anywhere. And I know if I was able to read it, I'd get a little bit more. I'd be able to connect a little bit with the experience, a little more of what happened. But it's the only crazy, psychotic, whatever you want to call it, extrasensory event that I've really ever had in my life. Everybody's kind of got a story of something weird that happened to them, or they had a bag of shrooms and they turned into a paintbrush lying on a pile of mulch as they watched airplanes fly over. That's somebody else's story that I know. It's just like they became one with the universe, and all of a sudden they were everything and everything was one, and they were God and God was everywhere, and they were infinite, and all that kind of crap that people talk about under the influence. But that was mine. That was my story. That's what happened to me. And just wanted to video journal it. How stupid is that? I don't know. Not stupid at all. It's an experience. It's just an experience I had that I can't explain, and I don't treat it as something special. It's nothing. It doesn't. Yeah. It's just a thing. There, have at it. Blech.